Live from Gahanna, WGLH-TV presents Lincoln Live with Natalie Fogel and William Wida.
Today, students walk out of school in protest, but they're not protesting anything at school, it's something much bigger.
Congratulating a teammate. Our football team has another reason to celebrate, and it has nothing to do with wins on the field.
And meet the conductor. Our bands perform for a special guest.
Lincoln Live starts now.
Good morning, Lincoln. I'm Natalie Fogel.
And I'm William Wida. Hey, Natalie, how did it feel for Pitt's football team to lose to West Virginia this year?
You know, if I remember correctly, hasn't Pitt beaten West Virginia more than the other way around?
That's in the past. I'm more about the future.
Well, speaking of the past and improving our future.
Let's get into some serious news in our school.
Yes, students at Lincoln are standing up against gun violence.
Yesterday, a walkout occurred at the end of the second period and took place all of homeroom.
Students walked out to honor the 18 victims whose lives were lost last week in a mass shooting in Maine.
The walkout was hosted by the human rights organization Amnesty International Club at our school.
Students held signs and protested against gun violence.
It was an opportunity for students to express their feeling about gun violence, and especially in a school setting.
We spoke to Adam Diakite after the event on what it meant to him.
Really important to me because I know that I've known people who have gone through school shootings. Some of them have survived, some of them haven't, and they shouldn't be able to go through this. They shouldn't have to grow up experiencing these things. That's not okay. The fact that we have to worry about this instead of the people causing this to be oh, I shouldn't do that. That's not okay. These are innocent kids.
Thanks. The Winter Black Box Show has been a tradition beloved by our theater students. Typically, the show is a play, but this year, Mr. Wagner is trying something different. He is directing Little Shop of Horrors, the musical. Auditions for Little Shop already happened, and callbacks are next week. If you still want to be involved, there are opportunities to work with the backstage or costume crew. Here is Mr. Wagner with more details.
Thanks to the students who auditioned for the first round of our Black Box performance of Little Shop of Horrors. We will be posting the next day or two callbacks for next week, which will be next Tuesday and Wednesday. Look to Classroom, where you saw all the audition information, to find out what times those are and who's being called back. We ask that you prepare any songs that are listed, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Rehearsals for You Can't Take It With You are ramping up. As the cast prepares for opening night next week, now is the time to buy tickets. The cast and crew have been working hard over the last 2 months to put this show together. It's a show about family, having fun, and how far you'll go for the ones you love. If you're interested in supporting the theater department, tickets are on sale now. Here is cast member and ITS historian Caleb Triplett with the information.
Tickets are on sale now for our school's play, You Can't Take It With You. They are $10 and they are on locallevelevents.com. The show will be November 9th, 10th, and 11th. You should come and support our theater program as well as our crafts who have been working very hard to put the show together.
Thanks. Our Gold Band got the opportunity to perform Through the Valley to the Pickerington North Bands along with a member from the President's own United States Marine Band, who composed that piece last year. Gold Band was lucky enough to perform that same song in 2022, where they held the world premiere for it. Now 1 year later, Major Ryan Nowlin, the composer, finally got to hear it live. Here he is sharing his opinions on the performance and what it meant to him.
Well, it's great to be back in Gahanna, Lincoln. I wrote it for a friend of mine on the subject of mental illness and mental challenges and very difficult issues that I really wanted to connect with young people, to explore them, to be able to ask for help if they need that sort of help. So to hear Gahanna Lincoln play it live after I've written it was a really special experience.
Thanks. The football team is celebrating one of its teammates. In July, recent graduate Mia Sammons produced a regional Student Emmy Award-winning story titled The Invaluable Davis White, and the story won the Best Sports Story category. Davis was obviously a major part of the story, and yesterday, Mr. Lowry presented Davis with his Student Emmy plaque before practice, and his teammates were ecstatic.
So Davis, come on up, I got this.
All right.
Thanks, and congrats again, Davis. If you drink soda, and most of us do, there's an easy way that you can help children at the Ronald McDonald House just by pulling the tab off the top. You'll also be helping the kids in Columbus defeat the Ronald McDonald House in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Here's Sophie Wolford to explain.
Pop Tab donation box is for us Girl Scouts to collect the Pop Tabs and donate to the Ronald McDonald House. For the Pop Tabs, the Ronald McDonald House is collecting them to turn them into money to donate to nationwide children's hospitals.
Thanks. So Natalie, going back to the West Virginia versus Pitt football game.
Okay, if I'm being completely honest, I really don't care that much about football. I prefer hockey.
Oh my God, hockey is so much better than football. Like, football can get so boring with all the downtime, and who doesn't love a sport on ice?
Well, you play hockey, of course you're going to say that.
What news do you have for us today, Paige?
Well, the Chinese Honor Society was recently able to welcome new and former members back for their first meeting of the year. For this first meeting, they elected new members, went over events for the coming year, and worked on planning the induction ceremony next Wednesday. They are very thankful for the number of new members that are joining the society. We asked a few inductees how it feels to be inducted. Here they are.
So it feels really good to be in the Chinese Honor Society now because we've been taking Chinese for so long, and like the work that we've been in has finally paid off, and it's been like really exciting to do something new and do something with our culture that we've been learning about for so long now.
Feels great to be a part of a community where I love being able to speak and learn about Chinese culture.
Thanks. Reminder to all National Honor Society members that the money collected from the bundt cake sale is due tomorrow by 3 p.m. Turn the money into Mrs. Gleek in the library or Mrs. Pedroti in the main office. Again, all NHS members make sure that the order form and the money is turned in by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yesterday, our Link Crew leaders went and spoke to the freshman homerooms about pledging to graduate, Gahanna Lincoln's core values and daily missions, and what the Lion Pride culture is, and why your freshman year is so important. Later that day, they had a chance to sign the Pledge to Graduate poster, committing to finish high school and to achieve the ultimate goal of graduating. Well, that's all the news I have for today. Back to Natalie and Will at the news desk.
Thanks, Paige.
This Sunday is not any ordinary Sunday. It's Daylight Savings Sunday, also known as fallback, which allows you to get an extra hour of sleep.
Not only is this an ordinary daylight saving time, this may be the last time we ever have daylight saving.
We sent our very own Cole Farbizo to get the story on what daylight savings is and why it's important.
Here's Cole.
On Sunday at 2 a.m. in most of North America, clocks are turning back to end daylight savings time. What is daylight savings time, you might ask? Daylight savings time is when we move the clocks forward by 1 hour during the summer months so that daylight lasts longer into the evening. It started on March 12th when clocks were turned forward by 1 hour. It always starts on the second Sunday in March and ends on the first Sunday in November.
The idea of daylight savings is also to help farmers. That way they have a long summer day to do the harvest, and in the winter, those cold nights are long and cold and doomy and gloomy.
Not only did it have to do with farmers, but the tradition of springing forward was once nicknamed wartime. World War I became the first time the United States used daylight savings, but then eventually went away after the war. The U.S. then started to give it another shot during World War II, which is the version we continue to use today.
Daylight savings went into plan when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was president, and it was the idea with the Industrial Revolution dealing with building bombs and bombers and our society getting ready for war, and we needed more time.
Many are opposed to daylight savings because it interrupts each person's schedule. When we move our clocks up an hour or back an hour, it ruins our circadian rhythm, which aka our internal clock. Our bodies get out of whack, which may cause it to feel off. Research has shown that moving clocks is linked to health risks, such as disruption in sleep, increased fatal car accidents, more workplace injuries, heart attacks, and strokes. If we stuck with standard time and didn't change the clocks at all, would you want to change it back? Right now it's almost 7 p.m. in pitch black. So not having daylight savings be what we really want?
I want it to be later at night because I feel like you can hang out with friends more later time and just like overall like the mood, I feel like makes your mood better and always just happier because the sun's out longer and you get to hang out, be outside, sports and stuff keep going on after school and it's just later, it just makes the days feel longer.
I would probably change it if I could because I like it better when it's later so I have more energy and don't feel tired as early in the night.
So whether you're for daylight savings or against, make sure to change those clocks on November 5th at 2 a.m. and enjoy that extra hour of sleep because in March, you'll spring forward and that extra hour of sleep will be taken from you. This is Cole Farbizo for Lincoln Live.
Thanks, Cole.
Well, Lincoln, that's all the news we have for you today.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.